Welcome to Polymath again. There is a famous proverb, change is the only constant. But from my experience, the change has changed the way it changes. It means change is not a constant anymore. It is taking up an accelerated phase of evolving. To explain what I said, let's discuss what is a change. A simple example could be the name change of a product like a mobile, or as simple as a toothpaste. But is it the case anymore? I don't believe so. The reason I told the change is accelerated is we are in a stage where new opportunities are created which didn't have a base to start with. For example, developing a mobile application meant nothing a decade before. Therefore, the sprouting of new domains paved the way for changes which didn't exist before. And I call this the accelerated way of change. Times are past when the change meant getting a new name or changing the color. What does that mean for us? It means now it is a time of accelerated change where the expectation is used to completely different paradigms in the fields which we never thought of before. Shoes becoming an IoT device or working from home is becoming the norm. This calls for innovative approaches to meet the new challenge which never existed before. Now I am going to tell you about three things you need to make a change: rethink, rewrite, and recreate. Rethink. What does that even mean? There is always a state of equilibrium which establishes a status quo. There is something called as fundamental theories, right? But are they really fundamental? The three laws of physics by Newton was considered fundamental for almost 2 centuries, but it was superseded by the theory of relativity by Einstein. Therefore, when you hear people saying that this is fundamental, take a step back and look at it with skepticism. Just to be clear, I'm not telling you to smash and scream that everyone else is wrong. Take your time, collect the data, and find a proof about what you're saying is right. Try to see the world as a place where reality is in flux and right and wrong are just a matter of perspectives. After this, you have to rewrite. Rewrite the concepts and the rules. Once you have thought about the validity of the things you have taken for granted, you may have come up with the shortcomings of the concepts you learned. This is the time for you to present your new solutions. When the time changes, the validity of the truth changes. In 1980s, it was impossible for people to think about the cyber world issues like privacy. But now it's all what we hear about in the tech world. What did we do? We rewrote the rules of the world. But usually these laws comes too late. Why? Because you didn't take a step. Everyone waited for someone else to take the first step. So now I am telling you, most people are lazy, and that's why you are important. And this is the exact reason why even one person matters, or so called the butterfly effect. The ability to create a ripple effect throughout the world with a single action of bravery or ingenuity. That's why there is a proverb: one man who believes equals 100 men who follows orders. After we rethink and rewrite, now you have to take the most difficult step: recreate. Why do we rebuild houses? Because they have an expiry date, or it is not keeping up with the demands of our needs. This is true with all things in life. It needs to be rebuilt every now and then. To give an example, the entire banking systems were based on SQL databases, but now it is moving towards the cryptocurrency. Another example, in these COVID times, the classrooms are done online. Once, these things were thought to be impossible, but it is possible now. I believe you have understood all the three phases of rethink, rewrite, and recreate. But the chances that the changes will affect only you is a highly unlikely event. That's when it gets trickier. How can you get other people's buy-in for your ideas? There are always people who are skeptic and fears change. And sometimes it is good because we are not always correct. We need people who challenge these new ideas because all changes are not go for good. There will be thousands of alternatives for everything we know of. It is these critics we face which make sure that the changes are done for good. Because we have to come up with logical arguments with conclusive evidence. So, to summarize today's session, rethink the logic you have understood, rewrite the concepts you have learned, recreate the things you currently have, thus leaving the world a bit better place than you came in. Thank you.